Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. We've been focusing on the arts this morning, and we've had the privilege of talking to Barbara Wanzo, who's the executive director of the Black Arts Think Tank, and we're now being joined by Azeeza Islam, director of the classic production, Black Nativity. Hi, ladies.
Hi there.
And welcome, Azeeza.
Thank you.
I'm really excited to hear about the Black Nativity, so we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But Barb, the concept of the Black Arts Think Tank actually took shape, and you mentioned this in the first segment with the help of Barbara Lawton, who's the chair of the Wisconsin Arts Board, and then community leaders Corey Nettles and Jackie Hurd-Barber.
That's correct.
They helped make it all a reality. So you do have a lot of exciting news coming up for the holiday season. So talk a little bit about how you figure out what it is you want to present to the people.
Well, Black Nativity was kind of a natural. Back in 1981, Hansberry Sands first presented Black Nativity from the UWM campus, and they did that for about 7 years, and then it kind of went away.
Okay.
And I began to look all over the country to see what, other companies were doing for the holidays, and, found that on the East Coast there was one company who'd been doing it for 46 years.
Wow.
And I thought that Milwaukee needed that and is ripe for that. And I wanted to bring out the entire community, which also meant, the churches and a diverse community. And I thought that Black Nativity would be a very good vehicle for that.
Absolutely. And Azeeza, needless to say, this is your baby. So
It's my baby now.
you are the director. So tell us more about this production, and you can really include why she thought it would be perfect for people who maybe want to check out a production after church or something along those lines.
Well, definitely this time of year brings out a lot of church congregations, members, everybody, family, and different cultures and all, just all over the board. And they're looking for things to do with their families. They're looking for things to do with their churches. You've got a lot of ministers that are in the piece as well. So they are our ones that are going to go and get their congregations to come to the show.
That automatic audience.
Automatic audience. And especially since they know how talented these people are when it comes to their vocals. And there's a lot of music in there that people are familiar with. There's some new music. There's some different arrangements of music of things that they've heard before. And it's going to be really, really exciting.
It sounds
And some of the
exciting.
people are moving that they hadn't seen move like that before.
And so basically, this is a testament to the power of gospel music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also just the story of the Nativity in itself, and then also not only the gospel music, but use of the scriptures. So it is, like I said, that perfect holiday production, and we're so privileged to have that here in Milwaukee. So we want people to take advantage of it and come
Yes,
out
that's
and
right.
see it. When will this production take place?
We open on December 10th and run through the 13th.
Okay, so they've got a short
A
window
very
to
short
take
window.
advantage.
So get those tickets right now.
That's right.
Okay,
Right now.
okay. It's going to be in Wilson Theater at
Yes.
Vogel Hall, and this is an opportunity for people to bring out the entire family as
right.
well. So how do they go about getting the tickets?
Well, they can call the BAT office or they can call the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts, and they'll give them all of the information that they need in order to purchase tickets. And you
Okay.
can do it online.
That's right.
You can do it online. Isn't that just
You don't
the
have to go
most
in
convenient
anymore.
thing ever?
Absolutely.
What did we do before online? That's all I want to know. So, Barb, this is a co-presentation of the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts and Black Arts Think Tank.
Right.
When we talk about bringing a production like this, not only does it give the local community a chance to get involved, but it also gives those local artists a chance to perform. So talk about that.
That's probably one of the things that, as the executive director of BAT, that I'm most proud of. There is so much talent in this city, and Black Nativity is an opportunity to see a lot of that talent. And one of the things that BAT wants to do, it's for the performing arts, but we're reaching out to young artists like our Black Nativity artist. She's a young MIAD graduate, African American graduate, and people like Christopher McIntyre, these young and upcoming artists that that our member organizations can collaborate on programming into the future. It's very important to us at BAT.
Yeah, and Azeeza, we have to find out more about your background, because obviously to be the director of a production, you've got quite a resume, I'm sure. So tell us a little bit more about what you've done.
It didn't start just today.
Right.
It started some 40 years ago, actually. The first major production that I was in was in 1976.
Oh, wow.
And that was in Eline Hall. And I was performing for Inner City Arts Council, and it was a piece called Spirit of Survival. And it was a huge cast. I was a dancer at the time. And so I came in, and that's how it all started. But my father was in the theater community as well, and so I grew up with theater. And it just kind of snowballed from the dancing to having some speaking parts. Then next thing you know, I was stage managing, and I did that for a number of years. And then it rolled into me writing some pieces, and then directing, and it just kind of
And here you are.
And here I am.
I think it's wonderful. And so talk a little bit more. Barb did mention a few of the people who are in this particular production, but talk about some of the other actors and actresses who are going to be seen in this as well.
Well, they range actually from 10 years old.
Wow.
Which is our Michaela, and she is just, she's exciting to see in the piece. She really is. And she's seen. She's there in the scene, and she connects with many of the adults that are in the piece as well. And then the oldest is 70, and that's our Larry. That's our veteran within the piece. And so Larry is one of the people, one of the principals who have done this show a number of times.
Okay.
He and Rochelle, and also Pat, and a few other, Jerome, and a few other people. So I knew I needed to have some people who was familiar with the piece first, and then I can bring in some other people that was not familiar with it. But all of them have just embraced everything that has been happening up until this point. And so this Saturday, they get a little bit more time for themselves, but we still have a rehearsal.
Sounding like a true director.
Right, exactly.
Get some rest while you can. And there are a number of special events that you have coming up along with the Black Nativity. You have a lady who, wow, sung backup for Sam Cooke, Elvis Presley, Cher, and Aretha Franklin. And you know, if Auntie Riri lets you sing background, you can sing.
That's right, that's right.
The one and only Darlene Love, and she is bringing love for the holidays. Tell us more about that.
Well, that's actually an off-Broadway production for by the Marcus Center for the Performing Arts. And actually, Paul Matthews, CEO and president of Marcus Center, actually came up with, well, he's also on the BAT board, but he came up with the idea for us last year of doing an artist meet and greet, since we are the arts. And so after that concert, BAT will have a small reception. Hopefully about 200 people is what the Bradley Pavilion can hold. And it's a fundraiser for the Black Arts Think Tank. And so we are making that also a new tradition in Milwaukee.
I love it.
Is that we have this artist meet and greet annually. So we did that last year with Wynton Marsalis. It was a huge success, and we're looking forward to Darlene Love this year.
And for those youngsters at home who don't know so much about Darlene Love, she also appeared in the Oscar-winning documentary 20 Feet from Stardom. And she is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, and she's got a forthcoming biopic that's produced by Oprah along with a new album. So not only is she bringing all of this talent that she's had for years, she's still going strong. To be able to witness someone who's been there and done that and still doing it, I think is always really a treat. And anything else you want to tell us about Black Nativity as we prepare to wrap up this segment?
Well, as we think about this coming holiday, one of the things that I'd like to, and let the cast know that on a regular basis too, that how much I believe in them. And it's all about growth, and those stories that we share are very important. And that reality that even we have today, those stories can be carried over here. In the second act of the piece, it even talks about how the shepherds, how they are now those ministers in the church, and how that transforms into what we have within our Black community, and the importance of the gospel music, not only the gospel music, but the Black church and how we interact with one another. And so it's time to bring people back together, bring them back to what it was once our reality, and just help us all to move forward.
Yeah, and I
within our life.
think just personally, when you think about the Nativity, it also reminds you of what Christmas is all
Right.
about, because sometimes we get caught up in the stress of buying gifts and decorating and this and that and everything else, but forget about the true meaning. And I
Right.
think that this production will definitely be that little elbow to people
Absolutely.
and say, hey, this is what it's all about.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and there's
Yeah.
still some stuff that we got to get together.
Still got a
Gotta
ways
work
to
it.
go.
Got to make it work. Yeah.
So I want to reiterate the dates that people can see Black Nativity.
December 10th through the 13th.
December 10th through the 13th, and then Miss Darlene Love is going to be performing at Eline Hall at the Marcus Center on Tuesday, December 15th.
That's right.
Okay, so if you want more information, they can give the Marcus Center a call,
That's
but
right.
we definitely encourage everyone to get those tickets as soon as possible, right?
Absolutely.
Cute stocking stuff are really,
Yes.
you know, a pre-Christmas gift, you
That's right.
know.
Yes. Yeah.
That's definitely something
Excellent.
people can do. So
Yeah.
I thank you ladies so much for coming by. Is there anything else that you wanted to let our viewers know before we wrap up?
Well, I just would like to thank the arts community and the Greater Milwaukee Foundation, the United Performing Arts Fund, and also TravelWisconsin.com. Without them, Black Nativity could not be a reality, and all of the wonderful support that we've received from the community. And thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And I just wanted to mention the Greater Milwaukee Foundation. They actually contributed $125,000 last year to expand the capacity of the agencies and ensure the stability. So
That's right.
you're right. That's really the difference.
They're one of our founding supporters. That's
yeah,
right.
it's what you see happen when community comes together,
That's right.
and we can definitely make a difference.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you both for
Thank
stopping
you.
by.
Thank
It
you.
has been a pleasure. Barbara Wanzo is the executive director of the Black Arts Think Tank, and Azeeza Islam is the director of the classic production Black Nativity. You can see it at Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall, December 10th through the 13th. Call 414-273-7206 or log on to marcuscenter.org for ticket information. And that's going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, I thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at Our Issues Milwaukee. Have a great day.